Hello YouTube, this is NanoBurger and I am here to give a little supplement to the last video I uploaded. The last video I made a substitute for the infamous K battery. This is the battery shell here, and I attached it to a battery pack with wires that would feed outside the camera. But I did get some questions on where exactly you find a K battery and how you get it open to do this, since you do need the shell of the K battery to make this work. Until somebody 3D prints all this stuff, you'll need an old one. This is a K battery. It came in a Pocket Instamatic 60, and as you can see, it's kind of a very strange shaped battery. And what we're going to do is to cut it open and take out the inside so we can reload it with a battery pack. The way you do this is to cut along the seam, which is pretty obvious on one side, and you can cut along the seam on the other side here, and finally the seam on this side, and there's a very small seam on this side too that you can do with a razor knife or X-Acto knife. And when you do that, you'll get something like this. I've already taken a knife and cut along the seam and forced it open. When you do force it open, you will find what's inside. First you'll have this shell, which really doesn't have anything, and you'll have this side, which has the three 1.5 volt cells, and as you can see on here, if you look real closely, these cells have leaked over time and have gotten this residue on here. It's not dangerous or anything, but just be aware that you'll find that. So we have these the three cells here, and to get them out, that's really pretty simple. You can just take something and yank them out. They're a little stiff in there, but as you can see here, you have the three cells, and they're attached by small bands of metal to make them in series, and they will connect to the negative electrode outside here by a small band right here. Perhaps if this is focusing well, you can see it. And all you have to do is rip this battery train off of here, and you have your shell. And doesn't take much. There. Just a little metal fatigue, and you'll have what you want. And you can see here, if you want to replace these batteries, you should get a battery about this size. But as you can see here, the batteries have a smaller diameter on the positive side than the negative side. So that normally causes some problems if you use a normal button battery, but it can be done. I've done it before, although it is pretty annoying. So again, once you have the shell, you don't even have to reload the batteries. If you want to put it back together and use it in your camera, it's fairly easy. What you will need is something to attach here that will make up the face of this very last battery. And what I've done is used just a washer, and if you remember, I simply soldered the positive wire to this this washer here. The washer is glued in here, by the way, with super glue. And the negative wire, which is the negative electrode, I soldered onto the negative electrode and just put it together. In this one, I used a 2-battery setup here, AA batteries, so it'll be 3 volts, which I found the camera works with just fine. However, for this battery here, I'm going to attach this, which I've recently received in the mail, and it's not a 2-battery or 2-cell, but 3 cells, which will give the camera the exact voltage that it wants, 4.5 volts. But I went with the smaller battery, the AAA battery, and if we compare the two here, the AAA is a little bit shorter, although a little bit wider, so it might be a little bit lighter too, but it fit the camera a little bit better. I plan to Velcro onto the bottom of the camera. So that's a little bit more in depth of what a K battery looks like. And again, if you're good with tools, you can refabricate these 3 cells here, stuff them in there. If you're not, you can just convert it to a cell that you'd normally be able to buy at the grocery store. So thanks for watching, and good luck with your K battery conversion.